Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Future Fashion Factory Spring Expo. I'm delighted to see you all, and I'm delighted to see a large contingent here from industry and also from academia. And it's a pleasure to be able to stand here 5 years after we started the Future Fashion Factory programme to be able to, I suppose, showcase some of the outcomes that we have been able to generate over the last 5 years. And it will continue. We are not stopping because this collaborative R&D model that we've created and that we have developed is important for the success of our industry. So I'm really pleased to see you all today. We have a really good, interesting programme ahead of us. And I want to start now by introducing our opening speaker, who I think it's fair to say has been a huge supporter of the Future Fashion Factory programme from the very beginning, from the very inception, and also his colleagues at Leeds City Council, including Gilda, who's over there, I think they are. And I'd like to introduce Tom Riordan, CBE, who's the Chief Executive of Leeds City Council. Tom's been Chief Executive of the Council since 2010 and has overseen significant transformation of the Council and the City since then. His top priority is for Leeds' growth and public services to be inclusive, championing mental health and diversity causes in the city. Tom's held various roles, leading local and central government engagement. And again, I'm really grateful to Tom and his colleagues at the Council for all the help and support they've given this programme from the very beginning. Without any further ado, Tom.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you today. Can I just ask who's voted today? Well done. Who's yet to vote but will? Good. I'm not going to ask who isn't going to. If you really don't feel like supporting anybody, but you're registered to vote, go in and spoil the ballot paper would be my advice. Because we have some people who came from Leeds. Leonora Cohen is probably the best example, who we're going to have a tribute to along with 400 or so other brilliant women in Leeds. There'll be a new sculpture produced down at Quarry Hill. And Leonora will be one of them. And actually, her name is going to go on the Civic Hall wall as well. I have to sit through very long meetings, and I have done, as you heard, for 14 years. And one of the things I've noticed, as I've been obviously very intently listening to the political debate, is that all the names on the wall of Leeds Civic Hall are men, and they're all white as well. So I've been leading a sort of mini campaign behind the scenes that we needed to get more diversity into our city, both in who we commemorate as well. So Leonora will be on that wall as well. So if not anything else, vote for Leonora Cohen, vote in her memory today for whoever you want, because I'm the returning officer and I don't want to give any view about who you should vote for at all, nor would I ever. But vote, that's really important. So the Future Fashion Factory is one of those initiatives which I've been really excited about and really proud to support, and it sort of sums up what we're trying to achieve in Leeds. We are a brilliant city, a fantastic mix of academic expertise, business and entrepreneurism, and civic life, if you like. That's where I come in. The boring bit, you know, how you run the city and how you can run it better. Don't ask me about when we're going to get a tram. We are going to get a tram, by the way. We are. You can hold me to that. The international studies that are done about economic development often talk about something called the triple helix, which is the way that you bring together that academic expertise from the universities in particular, but also business, the enterprise and entrepreneurism from the private sector, and then government, both national and local. And if you can get those three things working together, get the third sector, the charity sector, involved as well, then it's a potent combination. And I feel we've achieved that through this programme. It's been a great example of both what I've talked about in terms of bringing together those key stakeholders for purpose in terms of high value manufacturing and thinking about the future challenges that come from facing the sector and facing the city and the world, if you like, whether that's climate and net zero or whether it's tech and digital, and how you galvanise those things and use them for good, not just for profit, but for good anyway. It's been brilliant at bringing that together, but it's also a great example of, I think, the one thing that I've always felt about Leeds, that the best things happen in Leeds when someone from outside Leeds joins up with people from the city, and they start doing things together and doing things differently because they bring a different perspective and different ideas. So whether that's Thomas Spencer and Joseph Marks coming into Kirkgate Market and setting up a penny bazaar, or whether it's Montague Burton coming at first to York and then ending up in Leeds and building the Burton Group empire from Bermontofts, or whether it's all those entrepreneurs that some of whom are in the room now, who have the aspiration to be the next one of those organisations, or maybe just an aspiration to be the size you are now and make a difference as you are now. That's why Leeds is such a great place, because you get that combination. We speak 140 languages in the city. It is an extremely diverse city, and it's one that I think as well is quite enterprising in its own right. It's never, although the textile industry obviously was a critical factor in Leeds' growth, and we're really proud of that, it was never on its own. So there's finance and legal. If you look at the Civic Hall and you look at the words on the Civic Hall, it says law and finance, and I think in a way, that combination of the manufacturing industries that have done so well, but also those service industries that have been there to support expansion in Leeds, in the finance and legal sectors as well, has led to a very diverse economy, not just a diverse city in population terms, but diverse in economic terms as well. And that's been a real strength to us, because when you've had cyclical economic things happening and sectors really hitting the problem part of the cycle, unlike in other places in the UK and Europe, you haven't had that situation where all bets are on one sector, and then what happens is that sector goes and the state has to step in, and it's almost a dependency culture. Leeds has never had a dependency culture. It never, I think, wants to rely on other parts of the country to be successful. It has a tendency in political terms to be the opposite political persuasion to the national government. There's an otherness about Leeds which is really quite attractive, I think, which always attracted me. And when we were talking to Channel 4 about where they were going to site their national HQ, one of the things we clocked straight away was that Channel 4 was quite like Leeds. It sort of didn't like to be told what to do, and it was being told to do certain things. It was very committed to diversity, not in a tick box way, but in an absolute sort of heart and soul way. It sort of believed it because that was what it was about. I think Leeds is like that as well. And that means that agenda is not an easy one for the city at times. In Brexit we voted virtually 50. We were called the 50-50 city because there were very different views across that issue. But that challenge and, if you like, diversity that of thought, I think really drives the success of the city. And sometimes it isn't, people tell you as it is as well in Leeds, so they don't sort of hold back, which is quite good, I think, when you've got a business idea that's maybe not a brilliant one. People should, tell you that early and give you some really straight advice that sometimes you don't get. It doesn't happen enough in the public sector that, when we're headed in a direction that we probably shouldn't be, and we need to turn around and think differently. But, that's the essence, I think, of why this city is such a great place to be. why innovation is so strong, the 6 universities, you know, the £1.5 billion innovation arc that we're developing around the hospital and the medical school, the fantastic new spaces like Nexus here, and Platform and Duke Studios and other, you know, the whole range of different spaces that make such a difference. And I know those of you who will follow social media and, you know the challenges that we're having at the moment with the fact that we're having to change what we're doing in Eyre Street near the station. You know, that hurts for us as an organisation, and it hurts for the people involved. And you know, it's another one where we're working through that at the moment, and it's not easy. But the overall impact we're trying to have in the long term is to make sure that creative businesses are fundamental to the future of the city. They aren't crowded out of what we do by, you know, the luxury flats that are being built, and that we keep that bohemian nature, the diversity, the energy, the unplanned bit of the city moving really well. And I'm so confident about the future as well as what Future Fashion Factory's achieved already, that with the Leeds Institute of Textile and Colour, I think I've got that right. Have I got that right? Yeah. Whew. That was my last thing that I read before I came in. And the Creative Skills Annual Conference, the Leeds Manufacturing Festival, that's a really good annual staple of the sectors now, you know, that we've got a platform to move forward and keep this collaboration going, keep this sort of team lead spirit going, where, you know, you'll tell us very clearly when we've got something wrong or where you want something different, but we'll also be extremely supportive wherever we can. We believe in what you're doing, and, you know, long may it continue, and thank you, you know, to everybody in the room for what you're doing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business from a more corporate position, if you're one of the academics, if you're one of the people who's been here forever like me, I can see 1 or 2 of us in the room, you know, just keep doing it and let's keep working together and making the best for the city. I'll finish by saying that you are one of the most intimidating crowds to come and speak to. I was thinking, oh, what am I going to wear? But I am wearing a tailor-made suit from an entrepreneur in Leeds called James Michelberg, who is based in the Victoria Quarter, and he works with Italian designers, and he's from Yorkshire, so it's like a really nice. And I used to work with his wife as well, so it's a really nice story and lovely person too. So there, a bit of a shout out. Sorry to any other tailors in the room, by the way. Others are available. So yeah, have a great day. Make sure you vote if you haven't already, and have a great conference. And thanks for the opportunity to come and speak to you today, and for the privilege to work with you all. Thank you.